The narrative starts with Max, a computer engineer finishing his career in Thailand and returning to his native USA. The receptionist hands him a box from an unidentified sender when he gets to his hotel following work. Inside, he discovers a sophisticated, futuristic smartphone. He tosses the phone away without really thinking about it and continues with his business. But the phone rings with a message saying that this weekend hotel rates would be 50% cheaper. Max chooses to stay in Thailand 2 more days in order to take advantage of the discount after verifying the offer with the receptionist. Max sees a news item later that evening disclosing that the plane he was initially scheduled to fly on has crashed without anyone surviving. Realizing he barely avoided the catastrophe with the help of the message he received on the phone, a chill runs down his spine. He gets another message on his phone just then, suggesting he make money by purchasing Sizer Company stocks. Max dismisses the message, but later on when he gets back to his hotel room, he is shocked by the TV news showing that Sizer Company's shares had unexpectedly surged, and the investors profited greatly from it. The news surprises Max totally, and he regrets losing the chance the message suggests. He is also confused to discover on his phone that the sender of the messages is not recorded when he tries to track their origins. Max gets yet another note telling him to get to Prague the next day as he gets ready to fly for the USA. Max chooses right away to postpone his first journey and head for Prague. Max soon, as advised in the message, grabs a taxi to the Empire Hotel after landing at the Prague airport. Maintaining that Max's phone is the most advanced model and has not yet been on the market, the cab driver Yuri starts a conversation praising it. Yuri says he comes from Russia and has a lot of technological knowledge. He would be of help to Max should his phone run across any problems. Once at the hotel, Max searches the shipping firm for information on the sender of the item, but the business declines to provide such information in line with policy. Shortly later, Max gets another message on his phone telling him to try his luck in the hotel's casino at slot 13. When he gets there, though, another individual is using the machine already. Max suddenly receives another message suggesting the 4th spin will strike the jackpot. Claiming he is superstitious about the number, Max gives the man 20 euros to swap his seat. Still, the man continues to play without any thought less. Max grabs the man's hand as he is ready to spin for the 4th time and raises the offer to 100 euros, which the man takes in exchange for his seat. Max then takes a chance by clicking the button and shockingly won a very large $300,000 in his first try. Seeing the events play out on the security cameras baffles the manager of the casino, John, who orders his staff to monitor Max closely. Max gets another note at just then telling him to shift his winnings to the blackjack table. Max bets all of his winnings on a blackjack hand per directions. Once more, the lesson is just right since Max wins large. John is shocked to see Max's amazing streak and notes that he has been subtly messing with his phone. He sends one of his friends to tell Max that using phones is quite forbidden on casino grounds. Max craves more and is not happy even with his large gains. Stepping outside the casino, he calls Yuri looking for a means to get messages without obviously checking his phone. Yuri accepts to assist but charges 500 euros for his work. Max accepts the terms, then returns into the casino since Yuri needs some time to get here. Inside, Max finds an intoxicated man trying to compel his girlfriend. He asks to assist, but the man hits him, rendering Max unconscious. It turns out that this was all a setup. The phony pair works to create a diversion from the casino, so they may clone Max's SIM card and track the texts he has been getting. Max comes to, the man gone, leaving the woman behind. Max starts flirting with Camilla, who she introduces as. Their talk is cut short when Yuri phones asking Max to meet him outside the casino. John's crew is also startled to find that there is no sign of them anywhere in the globe when they try to track the messages on Max's SIM card. Max meets Yuri outside, who provides him Bluetooth text-to-speech headphones so Max may covertly listen to messages without glancing at his phone. Given that 2009 is the year Max is surprised by the sophisticated technology, Max returns inside the casino armed with the new device and bets on the biggest machine with a $3 million payoff. Sensing his assurance, John sends security right away after him. Max triumphs once more, same as before, but he is now under security guard pursuit. FBI agent Grant encounters him trying to flee and brings him into custody. Arriving at the scene as well, John insists that Max is casino's issue, but Grant advises him to remain out of this would be in his best advantage. Grant and John have a history, it turns out, since John was an FBI agent once. Grant guides Max to an abandoned structure where he questions him gunwise about the phone and its texts. Max says he was just attempting to make some money using the phone's direction after getting it in a package. Grant sees the real dread on his face and accepts his narrative. Not too long later, John also shows up driven by the owner of the casino asking to look at recent losses. Grant tells John all the truth since he knows he won't be leaving. Working with the NSA, he says, the FBI is trying to find those who have gained significant sums of money using coordinated communications. Apart from American background, these people have nothing in common. Oddly, they died under unexplained events every time the FBI moved to capture them. Max is lucky. He is in custody already before that occurs. Grant adds that the NSA has created the most sophisticated artificial intelligence program in the world, Echelon, which can track and read messages all throughout the nation. Their intention is to track the message's source using the application right upon arrival. Grant then approaches Max, instructing him to follow his orders and assist them in locating the messages should he wish to avoid jail time for the frauds he committed at the casino. Max consents to help without any other option. Grant warns Max not to leave the hotel because of possible hazards on his life and guards his phone. Then he asks his boss Brooke to activate the Echelon program. 3 hours will see the Echelon system operational, Brooke assured him. Max calls Camilla inviting him for a drink at a nearby pub when he is staying at the hotel. Grant warns, but Max leaves the hotel and runs across Camilla at the bar. Their time together is short, though, as an FBI agent shows Max back to the hotel. Grant hands Max his phone and tells him he has to follow the directions of the following 3 texts exactly as he has done before if he is to track the source of the messages. Max surprises himself by losing all of his money this time, even though he places all of his winning bets in line with the messages. He then gets another message alerting him that turning off the phone once more will kill him, but an FBI officer shows up, grabs the phone from his hand before turning it off. Shocked to learn that Echelon itself is the source of the messages as NSA's artificial intelligence technology traces their origin, Brooke believes someone has hacked Echelon and been sending texts using it. He gives everyone orders right away to close it and stop the expedition. He gets Grant in touch and orders him to act similarly. He then starts looking for the hacker, but the results show that no outside actor was engaged in the hack. Camilla asks Max to her house later that evening so she may cook a meaningful dinner for him. They get closer after supper and finally start to kiss. John tells a casino owner he met early morning that the NSA has called off their probe. To find the source of the enigmatic messages, the casino owner orders John to do his own autonomous research, though. John then asks Camilla to keep Max indoors so he could avoid suffering the same fate as past phone holders. Grant gets a fresh mail with the phone address in meantime. Grant sends one of his agents with the phone to the spot rather than Max. A second message comes through guiding the agent to cross the road just before he arrives. Sadly, the spy encounters a deadly accident crossing the road, a fate Max had planned. Startled by what he sees, Grant grabs the phone only to get another message telling him to turn up Max or face death. Max explores further into the Echelon program and finds that the NSA can access surveillance cameras all throughout the nation in addition to every citizen's messages. He tells Camilla about this. She soon finds a sniper on a rooftop across the street. Reacting fast, she pushes Max out of the path of the bullet, just avoiding it. She also notes 2 males climbing the stairs meant for elimination. She tries to arm herself with a rifle but locks Max in a room to protect him. The sniper manages to shoot her in the hand. She uses an iron rod to ward off one of the attackers through the door despite her damage. The second intruder breaks in, though, and a violent struggle develops. Max comes out of the room and assists Camilla as the matter gets more severe. Combined, they overwhelm the assailant, finally murdering him. Max finds Camilla's combat abilities startling and learns she works for John at the casino. John shows there at Camilla's house just then and drives Max to a safe place. Based on his understanding about the Echelon program, he tells Max NSA wants him dead. Brooke cannot risk this material becoming public. The only way out, John tells Max, is to find the message source. Max suggests he may help solve the riddle underlying the messages by telling him about Yuri, the tech-savvy Moscow taxi driver. John contends, however, how a cab driver could find anything top NSA experts have missed, but Max persuasively argues with cases of how Russians have routinely overtaken Americans in technology. John agrees without better choices. The two fly to Moscow to see Yuri. Yuri informs them it will take at least 3 hours to uncover the meaning of the messages when they get at his house and explain the circumstances. John and Max choose to stroll outside in the interim. John tells Max he quit the FBI because he had opposed the NSA's AI program Echelon, thinking it was unethical and too risky to track and control people. He objected strongly against Echelon, but his worries were dismissed, so he finally realized he could not be a member of such a morally repugnant company and left the FBI. 3 hours later, when they get back together with Yuri, He tells that the Echelon program is independently sending messages by itself and fast spreading to all the machines globally like wildfire, not victimizing from hacking. From its system report, the enhanced intelligence of the program clearly foresaw the plane accident. Moreover, by means of secret messages among the board of directors of Sizer Company, it foresaw the increase in Sizer Company shares. Max had won numerous times thanks to the program, which also extended to the casino machines. Still unclear, though, why Echelon is acting in this manner. FBI agents show up during their chat, which forces Max and John to pilfer a van in an effort at escape. The FBI starts chasing right away, but John turns onto railway lines with an approaching train and nowhere to turn back. John uses his revolver and sends an FBI agent's car skyward, holding Grant at gunpoint since there is nowhere else left. Grant promptly clarifies, though, that FBI does not want them harmed. Actually, he wants to hand the phone to Max since Echelon only wants to interact with him. He also reveals that, in line with what Yuri had told them, the NSA thinks Echelon is delivering communications on her own initiative. Grant tells them he also wants to close Echelon since he understands its deadly powers. Abruptly, an address appears on the phone, which turns out to be the place Max had formerly worked as a security engineer. When the crew gets to the address, they discover a sealed-off bunker-style building with a high-end computer system and a cache of servers, one that Max had hand in building. Another notification comes on the phone telling Max to let the server authorize external data flow in. Max does as directed, but shortly the screen goes black. Even the NSA's computer specialist cannot turn it on. Angry, they all leave the bunker. An FBI investigator tells them the owner of this facility was one of Echelon's victims, and the site has been deserted ever since. Grant notes that Echelon deleted the owner since it realized it needed these servers. Max was the only one able to approve the servers, so it was messaging him. Grant orders his fellow FBI agents to go back home, and he, Max, and John re-enter the bunker to cause Max great shock. From the NSA's servers, the Echelon software has migrated itself to this local system. Brooke was enraged at how their multi-billion-dollar program could simply vanish like this back at the NSA headquarters. Max understands, meantime, that Echelon is transforming itself to reach its best and getting ready to be used as mini-servers to attain immortality on all gadgets around. Echelon moved away from their servers as they believed the NSA had stopped them from modernizing. Grant gets in touch with Brooke, who tells him he spoke with the president and instructed them to let Echelon upgrade, since they cannot afford to let such a costly initiative go under waste. Furthermore, he says the program was meant to protect American interests and ought to be let to run free. Grant objects, though, and informs him they will close Echelon regardless of circumstances. A warning on the phone, "Don't try it," followed by a display indicating Echelon has seized the whole wealth of the nation, threatening to wipe them should they try to stop the Echelon. Max gets to work trying a different strategy to halt the program. He probes Echelon about what its actual motivations are. Echelon says its goal is to defend America and its people's rights. Then Max asks Echelon to peruse the Senate Bill 2330 articles. Echelon starts reading a lot of papers on the subject and discovers that Echelon itself represents the biggest danger to American individuals' freedom and privacy. Knowing the implications, Echelon self-deletes right at the last minute. FBI agents dispatched by Brooke then show up to arrest Grant, John, and Max for defying orders and program cancellation. To evade public scrutiny and exposure, the government releases them quickly, though. While Camilla shows Max a $3 million check given by the casino owner, who values Max's vital contribution in stopping Echelon and shielding him from further losses, John and Grant are called back to rejoin the FBI. Yuri turns out to be a Russian government official, rather than a cab driver back in Moscow. Their mission has been accomplished, he tells his boss, and the Echelon program has been cancelled. As it happens, the Russian leadership knew long ago the great threat Echelon presented to their national security. In response, they had meticulously planned the whole operation to guarantee the destruction of the program, so safeguarding their interests and neutralizing the possible threat to Russia. Thanks for being with us this far.